We're ready to go. Are we ready to go? And action. Hey, love them knives. Welcome to my channel. And LTK's here to talk to you about a knife that makes everybody smile. This knife will make you smile. If it doesn't make you smile, then you're incapable of smiling. According to my buddy, Dr. Chuck, the doctor that knows what he's talking about. I mean, I'm talking about a physician, okay? Came down from Great Falls, Montana, spent time with me in Tucson on a one fine, beautiful, sunny day, really. It's gorgeous weather. Sat outside on the patio and dumped tons of knives on the table. And this was one of them. And he got his hands on this knife. $28 knife, right? Harnds Knife and Tool. Okay? Crazy. Steve Klecker in Iowa sent me an email and said, have you ever heard of this knife? Have you ever had one of these? I got one just now, and it is really incredible. I mean, for the price. I mean, it's incredible. And so I got one from Power Cutlery. He was on eBay selling them. He didn't have them listed on his website. Oh my God. It's a liner lock. Before I get into pictures too much. Yeah, there's your lockup, about 40%. It's got bearings, folks. Oh my God, it's got bearings. And it flips, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just the flippinest little fool-ass knife. How's that for detent? 28 bucks. Aus 8, okay? It's the Talisman, not the Tally Man. Talisman. Aus 8. And it's magic, right? Talisman is like a magic stone or ring or something. But this is magic. Deep carry pocket clip. You know, I never did look when I pulled it apart to see if you could do this down this side. I don't think so. Doesn't look like it's got the cutaway for it. So right hand tip up, deep carry clip, flipper, obviously got a little bit of a choil in here. And this blade design makes a lot of sense. Look at that flat grind. Great slicer. Great slicer. But you know what? Yeah. You got a flipper tab there in the way. But otherwise, you got a lot of belly on there. Look at that. Decent stock. Not real heavy, which is really preferable if you're going to get into slicing. And can you pierce? Yeah. And is that tip overly fragile? No, not really. Not really. No. You know, they made that of steel, so it won't just bend or anything, you know. Just giving you a hard time. Okay, so got jimping along here at the top, which is meaningful, okay? I mean, there's no go forward position here, but you can do this, okay? Now, take some crazy piece of paper. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, sharp. You know, I mean, he was like, I can't tell you. Dr. Chuck, I had 30 damn knives on that table. Sunshine, big beer, big cold beer in front of me. He doesn't drink, but I'll still be his friend. I don't care. In any case, he said, yeah, probably. Like, you want to do some surgery? No, let me have a couple of beers. No, but he was really preoccupied with the knives. But I'll tell you what, I had a lot of knives on that table. I mean, beautiful knives, incredible knives, right? And he messing with this one. So he goes back, he gets some knives from me. I mean, some nice ones. And then this one, I think I just said, here you go. I got 2 of them, so here you go, Doc. Gave him a t-shirt too. Better wear it, damn it. In any case, so days later, he's back in Great Falls, and he texts me and he goes, man, that Talisman knife, that Harnds, that's an incredible knife. And he made some crazy statement like, oh, it's like a $100 knife and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, well, let's not get overly wrought, but it's, you know, it's skeletonized inside. I'm going to show you some pictures I took took it apart, but oh my God, it's well, let me go down this road real quick. But he was having more fun with this damn knife than the expensive knives that he went home with, the beauty queens. I mean, come on, man. What's the matter with you? $24.89 on GearBest. I'll give you the link for this on GearBest. Free shipping, all that kind of stuff. Who knows what it's going to be? Ooh, is that your girl pocket knife? Really? Really? Are you really laying that down on me? Come on, man. In any case, here's your pause and read as far as parameters here. Blade material, of course, it's AUS-8. Somebody named Cole Steele, oh my God, like made their world happen with AUS-8, right? Yeah, right? And I'll tell you what, it works for them and it works for me. It's not real expensive. This knife's 24 bucks. Okay, 24 bucks. Just keep that in mind. Okay, G10. And there's your blade length. It's like, it's 3.5 if it's anything, right? Okay, so Power Cutlery. I'm going to put the link to them. Right now, they're out of stock. Okay, so here's the disassembly. There's what the bearings look like. They're those captured bearings. Okay, here's your other pieces and parts. There's your skeletonized steel frame. There's your G10 scales and your back spacer, of course. Deep carry pocket clip and blade. Right? Here's your specs again. AUS-8, drop point. And this is off of, I believe, the Power Cutlery site. So not quite a 5-inch handle. Under 5 ounces. Tip up. Right, there's their model number, CK9168, and there's me. I done took the picture too. Took it apart. There's your bearings. Of course, I put the this outer ring, not the opened part, but the closed part here, up against the blade. And then the open part up against the liner area here. But these are steel, so you don't need a washer or anything. You got steel on steel both ways. That's not a problem. And there's your pivot tube, screw that comes through, and then, you know, that kind of thing. There's the screw that comes through into the pivot tube from the other side. And these are your other screws that put your thing together. There's an inner little screw in there for the liner, as you can see. Any case, cool knife, really nice. It's just, and you know what? The Harnds Knife and Tool Company, they've been doing knives for a while, several years at least. 3 5/8 inch, so about 90, not quite 95. 93, 92, 3, somewhere there, millimeters. 21.5 centimeters overall, 8.5 overall. Okay, so a little over 3.5 inch blade, depending if you measure it probably down here to that, it's going to be close to 3 3/4. Got a little choil in here for sharpening, like I said, you know, that no recurve or anything, so nice flat grind, nothing wrong with that. Here's your pivot. Take a look at that. That's not bad. That's somewhat decorative. That'll work. And of course, you know, you disassemble it from this side here. Okay, so you got your torsos. And really, they're nicely machined. I mean, a lot of times you get these old, you know, gray cap screws that just look really second rate. These are really nicely machined. Now, don't get too excited, because I went on their site and looked at their other models, and it's like, I think this is their kind of one-trick pony for now. It's kind of like when you look at the T-cut knives. You know, you've got the Tough and the Tiburon and the Zero, but other than that, the rest of them look a little sketchy for quality, and that's kind of how I see the Harnds Knife and Tool thing. This is a really good knife, but I think that that this is the best of their line. You got a black G10 backspacer. And you've got, of course, these skeletonized liners. So have they done a good job in that respect? Yeah, I think so too. And a lanyard hole back in the back. Deep carry clip. That's nice, especially for this class of a knife. Good size knife, but not overly large. Okay, not overly heavy. Good. Flat grind, good slicer. Yeah. You know, jimping on top of the blade. Good, that works. Flipper tab guard keeps your hand from going forward. Flipper tab is jimped. G10 is nicely done. I mean, I'm not finding a lot of fault with it. How's it feel in the hand? It feels pretty good, actually, in the hand. Right here, there's a big old choil for your front finger, but you can't get the second one in there, so this is kind of cutting right in the middle of my second finger here, unless I move it over here. And when I do, then I'm keeping this finger next to this one, and I'm moving it back from this flipper tab. So I'm not really up on that flipper tab unless I'm going to take this thing right in the middle of this finger. So maybe that could have been a little shorter. This little front finger choil here should have maybe come to an end right over here instead of over here. Other than that, and then, you know, but you can hold it like this. It's just not, you're just not up against that. So that's okay. Reverse grip is actually makes more sense, actually almost more comfortable in that regard. But you know, no, it's nice and heavy enough, and let's do that. Yeah, 6/10 of an inch, 15 millimeters. Yeah, okay. So what am I telling you? That's a nice fat grabby handle, which for a beater knife, for a user knife, is what you want. You got about an 1/8 inch blade stock, 3 millimeters. Maybe is that, can that improve? Let me get up here to the fattest part. Yeah, a little over 3 millimeters. Okay. Still fairly slender, not bad. What do you think? Pretty good little satin grind there. Actually, the symmetry on the grind looks pretty good. Piercing, slicing, great slicer. Comfortable, nice structural integrity with these steel liners. And I'll tell you what, put a huge grin on Dr. Chuck's face. I think he's still having fun with this damn little thing. It's like, dude, I mean, you went home with the Todd Begg Steelcraft Field Marshal, right? And this is what you're playing with? Wow. Cheap tricks, isn't it? And I'll tell you what, I told him, I said, you know, it is fun. It's fun when you discover that kind of odd budget knife. And it's all because of Steve Klecker. I mean, he's the one that emailed me. Otherwise, I'd still be floating out in the I don't know craposphere. And then, but he brought me in and said, hey, check this out. Even though it's kind of a one-trick pony for their line for right now, who knows where they're going from here? But look at the landing zone. I mean, they even thought about this, right? Area here. And this is pulled back from the front enough and jimped. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. I pulled it apart and put it back together, no problem. And is it centered up? Well, yeah. How about blade play? Nothing there. No lock rock. Hell yeah. I mean, so it came apart, went back together, bearings, the whole deal. I don't know. I mean, you know, it's one of those joys of the budget brands that's kind of the off-road stuff, right? Here you go. You're in your truck. Are you going to stay on the road like the conventional people tell you to do? No. You're going off-road, and here you go with crazy things like this. How many people are talking about Harnds Knife and Tool? None that I'd seen before. So, I mean, I just woke up and discovered this. And if you don't know about it, well, this is a fun one to get. I mean, it's not a lot of money. Even Power Cutlery, and he'd been selling them on eBay, and I go, you didn't have them listed on your site. He does now, and it shows out of stock. But, and when this airs, they may be back in stock, so check Power Cutlery first. I'll give you the link to Power Cutlery because I'd rather have it in 3 days than 3 weeks. So I'll pay $2 or $3 more. And but I bought this one from Power Cutlery off of eBay. Check on eBay, type in Harnds Talisman, and hit go. And you'll probably find Power Cutlery selling them. Not under the name Power Cutlery, but in any case. That's I got this one from, off the eBay thing. I didn't buy, I bought one off of his actual site, but then he went out of stock. He said he only had a few, but he's getting more in. So there you go. Check it out. You can buy it right here in the USA. It's a great bargain. It's a fun knife. Look at that, right? So, how's it compare with the Para 2? Pretty close, isn't it? Right there. Right there. Little bit, hold on. A little bit longer. Para 2 has a really long handle, but see, bigger. It's a bigger knife. Wow. How about the Mannix? Come on, buddy. Throw you at the bad end of the scale here. And yeah, it's bigger than that too. So it's a good sized knife. Just saying. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think it weighs? Well, they told us, right? It's under 5 ounces. Let's check it. It's barely under 5 ounces. Barely. Well, it's got some pretty thick G10 that's got those stainless liners, and let's make excuses for it, and it doesn't need to be that light. It's not that big a deal. It's 138 grams. It's not a tough deal there. 4.9. Good user knife. Put on some gloves. Use it tough. Don't put on some gloves. Still use it tough. Doesn't make a difference. Good Aus-8 sharp blade right out of the box. And the action's wonderful. Of course, I took mine apart, took the berries, purged everything, put it back together with some nano lube, and no problem. Straightened right up, centered right up, good action. Wow. Okay. It's amazing what you can get for 20-something dollars, isn't it? I mean, this market just keeps getting better and better, really for the consumer at least. More and more choices too. And a lovely display box, must I say. Hardy for survival. Knife and tool. Maybe you want to get one. Maybe you should. Maybe you'll smile. Maybe you'll even laugh. I did. I laughed when Dr. John... Really? You're going to text me about this knife? You walked away with like 5 knives and you're texting me about this knife? I showed you 30 knives. Some of the most beautiful. God, whatever, But I'm laughing because I have to agree. It's always fun. It's always a thing of joy when you find a knife that's really worth the money. I mean, so far, who knows? Maybe it'll all fall apart in about 3 months, but I don't think so. I looked at the guts. It looks pretty good to me. All right. Follow me on Instagram. I leave the link below in the description section because you know what we do. Come on. We love them knives, so stay sharp.